Airitoutradio is that chick Fire. I'm here with the one and only Drewski.
Fire. Thank you for pulling up here and doing the interview here. You made my life so much easier to come here
Right.
and we could chop it up and I'm excited to, see what you got going on.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird, like interviewing you from your own spot, and then I'm
Right.
doing it, But it's cool though. The place is dope. You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? I'm proud of you.
I feel like sometimes, like especially for people like us, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta get out of your comfort zone sometimes and do stuff like you're so used to probably interviewing where you're at, right?
Right,
And it's
right,
like you get comfortable. But now it's like, okay, am I really doing this because I
right.
love it, or am I just doing it, because
True, true. That is true. Like, I mean, this is definitely a dope environment. So I'm glad I came here.
oh, thank you for
Your
coming.
spot better than mine, so
Listen, it takes time. It's a build up.
It takes time. Okay, so we're gonna jump into it. I mean, thank you for having me first of all, and keeping your word all the time because I know we supposed to do this a
Right.
while ago. So thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're gonna just ask random questions all over the place.
Got
Okay.
you.
All right. No particular order. All right. So what's the hardest thing about being a DJ?
The hardest thing is probably staying relevant, like, reinventing yourself because music is moving so fast and generations are moving so fast. And with the internet and
Right.
social media, everybody feels like they can DJ and everyone feels like they're famous. And so it's being able to just keep up, like knowing as a DJ what's going on in the music world and adjusting to that.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I like to be ahead of the wave. I don't like to like catch up or jump on it when it comes. I like to be ahead of the wave, and I think that for me is what separated me from a lot of like DJs. Is early on doing the drill music before it was even mainstream like it is today. People were like, "Yo, why are you playing that? What is that?" And now everybody's drilling in New York
Right.
City. So just being able to be ahead of the wave, I think, is one of the hardest parts as a DJ.
How much music would you say that you listen to stay up with the wave?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a full time
Hours?
job.
Yeah.
If you put the time together, it's hours. But just in my email alone, I'm getting tons of records, and then I'm searching, the internet for what's trending, and you go to your Spotify's and
Mm,
your titles and Apple, and then you're listening to what
it's a
DJs are
lot.
playing in other markets. So it's a full time job. Like when you're not on the radio or when you're not DJing,
Hmm.
you're still working to figure out okay what's trending right now, what record is moving, what's next.
Right.
So it's full time.
Who do you trust to give you music? Like, do you have
Um,
specific people to like? Yo, I like this track. You should listen to it.
Yeah, so like at the radio station, we do mixer meetings. So all the DJs that are that work for the radio station
Hmm.
in their own right are like the biggest DJs in the city. So somebody might be from the Bronx, somebody might be from Brooklyn. So I'm listening to everybody. Like yo, what's going on in Brooklyn? Oh, what's going on in the Bronx? What's going on in Harlem? So I kind of like do that, and I can go to different DJs and just kind of pick their air. Like yo, what are you playing? What are you messing with?
Right.
So we kind of just rely on each other to stay in the
Really?
loop. Yeah.
Do the radio? Because they have this thing where the radio stations don't get along. Is that true, or is that like a myth?
Nah,
Like,
that's like maybe in the beginning, right when things first changed, it was
right.
like that. But it's competitive,
Right.
so I think on a personal level, everybody gets along. We're all
Really?
into the same thing. But on in the business, it's like wrestling, right? So you watch wrestling and it looks like oh the two wrestlers don't like each other. But once
Right.
the camera's off and they're backstage, say yo we're both professional wrestlers. We're both into the same thing. It's all love.
They
But
get
because it's
along.
competitive it's like, yo, I can't be your friend right now. We work with, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
both trying to get the same listener. We both trying to get the same club. We both trying to get. So
Right.
it's the competitiveness that makes it feel like that. But I have friends that are on other
On the other
stations,
stations.
like
Yeah.
different stations, not just Power 105. Or,
Right.
my mentor is now on the block, which is like the new old school station, and he's the
Mm-hmm.
one that put me on. Shout out to Cypher Sound. So
Shout out to
you know what I'm saying? We got family and friends that work other markets, but in New York City it's so competitive that it makes it feel
It
like
is. It
yeah.
is. You never I don't think I heard you mention about like Philly artists. Who you feeling from Philly?
Um, of course the young boys like Too Rare and D Sturdy.
Okay.
They're like the super, they're doing the club
Yeah,
records
exactly.
and they're going crazy. Of
Mm-hmm.
course Uzi. Yeah, I like Uzi because even though he's super huge
Yeah,
right
he
now, but
already on.
he tapped into Jersey club producer,
Right.
right? The young boy MC Vert, who's from Newark. So even like Uzi saying, "Yo, I want to do the club records," he's smart enough to tap in with like a Jersey club producer.
Right.
Who else? I just seen
No females?
from Philly. I'm trying to think.
I know it's not
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure they are. I just can't think of who right now. And then there's so many artists that I don't even know where they from. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
run into so many artists
Mhm.
that I'll forget where they're from.
Right. What's the craziest thing somebody like tried to get your attention and they wanted you to listen to their track? What's the craziest thing that happened?
Mm, that's a good one. I gotta think, but it's different ways. Cause some people they take the aggressive route, right? They'll try to be super aggressive and
Like
tough and
calling you
yeah,
names
like
and stuff.
try to like
Right.
pressure, like yo, play my shit or I'm gonna pull up on you. But that it never works. Yeah, it never works with me. Like
Never
I
works.
don't pay attention to that. But I don't know. There's so many different ways. Or they'll send like their girlfriend to
What?
say an
Not their
artist right
girlfriend.
got a pretty girlfriend and they think oh that's gonna work. So she'll hit me up and say hey I have a friend that and I could already know like oh that's your man. Like I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put your man on. But people get creative or they try to finesse.
Do they send you bottles and stuff like that?
Oh
Like at
oh
the
yeah
club to try to get their stuff played.
yeah they'll do that
Okay.
like
Okay.
especially in the club. Like yo send Drewski a bottle. I'm like yo it came from
But
this
you don't
person.
drink though,
No,
right?
but I'll still take like I
You'll still
appreciate
take
it,
it.
right? I appreciate it because my friends might want a
Right,
drink.
right.
But yeah, that happens a lot. Like that's regular.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of DJs say that, it's a specific way that you're supposed to approach a DJ. What's the real way Drewski would like to be approached?
For me, it's just respecting my space. So like if I'm in the club, try to catch me before I get on the set or when I'm off. A lot of times, and it's so weird, I see people wait till I get on. Like I'm playing my first song, and then they want to walk up and yo, Drewski. I'm like, yo, I'm at work right now. Like this is
Right.
I know for
You
you it's a
working.
party, but for me this is my job. This is work right now. You should have called me before I got on or like after I'm done. While I'm in the middle of work, it's kind of like
Yeah.
disrespectful to try to tap or send somebody or because now people you got your laptop open and just trying to airdrop records while I'm
Right.
DJing. So it's like time it right. Like don't wait till I start work to you know what I'm saying? I don't go to your job and just interrupt
Right.
what you're doing. So it's just really figuring out the timing. But I'm different. I'm pretty open. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you see me in the street, like if I'm in the, it don't matter, shopping or in the mall or food store. Like
You
I
don't care if
always,
they bother you while you shopping and stuff?
nah, cause I understand it. Like
Wow.
I come from that, like not knowing how to get on,
Mm.
right? So I'll be
I
with my
feel like it's a
daughter.
limit though. Like, no,
It is, but people,
they don't care.
they don't care.
See,
They do
I
not
don't-
care.
You'll probably care more once she start getting a little older.
Right.
It's
Well,
like-
like protective wise,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because they be in the way doing too
But for the
much.
most part, it's always love. Like, yo, just, I never run into like any hate or that type of, you know what I'm saying?
Really? No.
It's always love.
Everybody talks highly of you, so I don't see that happening anyway. But you don't have no beef with nobody, right?
Not that I know of.
Not that
I'm
you
sure
know
there's
of.
some people out there that I ain't play
Right.
their song and they probably
Probably.
got beef with me, but
You know how
I
that
don't
is.
got no beef with nobody.
Right. I know you I think they said you were the second paid person on Love and Hip Hop. Is that true?
The
The
second,
second highest.
oh, I don't know what
That's what
other
they have
people
you
got.
as. They have you as the second highest.
I don't know
paid.
what other people was making, but I'm sure there, there's people
Probably
like
now maybe.
Remy Ma that was getting a bag, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what they have you under. I'm just saying.
listen, they might know,
Yeah,
they know
man.
things I don't know. I don't
They
know.
got you in the highest, like the second highest one. I was like, wow, okay, Drewski, like, you know what I
Hey,
mean?
I'll
He did
take
that.
it, but I
You
don't know
didn't
what
know?
other people. I don't know what, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not my business to worry what other
That
people
was a while
got.
ago, so I don't know if it's still, but
Right.
that's what they had you under. Okay, what's the worst interview you ever had? Do you remember?
Worst interview I ever
You don't
had.
have to name nobody's name, but like, do you remember the situation?
I'm trying to
Whatever.
think because I do like a lot of new artists too,
Mm.
and sometimes it might be their first interview ever,
Yeah,
so they're
that's hard.
super nervous. And
Ooh.
and it happens a lot, like with artists. The artists that come and want to do an interview, but then give one word answers are the
I know.
worst. So
I
it's
can't
like,
stand that.
right? It's like, so what you got going on? It's like, got new music,
Right.
and that's it. And it's like
That's
they don't
it.
say nothing, and you gotta like pull from them.
Pull
So
it,
that
pull
happens
from
a
them.
lot.
A lot.
And then especially with the young kids, they don't even care about interviews. Like they
Right.
don't want to.
It's like, why are you here?
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
But sometimes, you know, when they sign to a label, the label is pushing them to do it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do it, but they're just going along with it. And
Right.
it's rough. Like,
I know.
there's been times where I'm like, fuck, this kid is not even speaking up. Like, they're not giving me nothing. I got to pull.
Nothing. Yeah, so it's like that. Do you feel like that they should have the media training and all that stuff before they hit the radio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like you're now on a platform where it's not just your fans watching. The goal is to get other people in tune with what you have going on. So if you're an artist and you're doing radio interviews because you have a new record or a new project dropping, your fans already rock with you. And that's why you on doing this radio interview already, because you built your fan base. Now it's time to get new listeners, new people. Sure. And if you come up here and you sound crazy or just look crazy, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't help. It might even hurt you in the sense like, somebody might watch him like, yo, what is he talking about? Like, I'm not even gonna listen to their music. So the goal is like, yo, you gotta come up here and with the confidence, with, you know what I'm saying, with the media training, and that comes from like the team too. Like, if you know your artist is not really well at doing interviews, prep them before, you know, they come up to certain platforms.
I hate the ones that don't want to like answer the questions at all.
Oh yeah, it's the worst. The worst.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm like, really?
Right.
You know, have you ever had anybody walk off?
Not walk off, no.
No, not yet. Huh?
But I've like cut it short because I knew it wasn't going anywhere. Like I'll just.
Was they mad at you?
Nah, because I feel like they probably didn't want to be there anyway, and I kind of felt that. So it was like, instead of me dragging this out and trying to get, you know, stuff out of you, appreciate you stopping by. Good luck with the project. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Let's wrap it up quick.
Wrap it up early.
Right.
Somebody has mentioned that the radio is the last place to go with an artist. They're supposed to like hit everything else before radio. Do you believe in that, or they should do? Is there a particular order that you would suggest that artists do?
There's really no order, because you have artists that break from radio, and you have artists that break from TikTok now, and artists that break from SoundCloud. Right. So there's really no one order, but radio is like prestige in a sense. So once you make it on radio, then it kind of solidifies your music career. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you're on radio, you're mainstream at that point. Okay. So I do suggest like new artists, like, yo, don't worry about the radio right away, because where do you go from that? Because really you're supposed to build your fan base, build your audience, to where now you go on radio and you use that platform to really take you just outside of local stuff. Now you're, you know, national or international with it. Right? Sometimes artists want to just rush the gun and, I need to get on the radio.
It's like, to be on FM series right now.
Like you haven't built nothing to get on radio. You want to be on the same level as a Drake or Rihanna, but you ain't put in that work. So it's like, put in the work.
Who's your favorite artist?
I don't have one favorite artist, but if I had to do like top 5, Drake is definitely in my top 5. Like a Jadakiss, Jay-Z. Eminem.
Oh, you know what a coincidence.
Right. And they was coming for M too recently.
I don't know why, because M is crazy.
Yeah, and I like 50 though. 50 like stood up for him, even though that he put 50 on, but 50 was like, yo, it got nothing to do with him being white. He's just nice, right? So, and one more. So Jay-Z, Jadakiss.
No female.
Female artist, like.
Let's slide a female in there.
I would probably go with Cardi. Yeah, Cardi B.
You know what? You made Nicki cry. I mean, Cardi cry.
Yeah. I ain't make her cry. She just started crying because.
Yeah. Was they mad at you?
No. Because it was like, it wasn't crying like sad or upset. It was like, emotional cry. Like she was happy to.
You know how some of they be like, why you making her cry?
Nah, because I was even confused. I'm like, why is she crying? I'm not asking her people like. But she was just so emotional and excited and felt like she said, like, I feel like I'm at home. Because I think at that time we were in L.A. for, like, awards or something.
That's dope, though. I always wanted to make somebody cry. I swear, I'll be like.
You never made nobody cry?
No.
Not even an ex-boyfriend?
Oh, I'm talking about on the interview.
Oh, okay.
I was, I'm reaching for that, like, on some Oprah stuff. You know what I mean? One day.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Okay. Do you enjoy the podcasting more than regular radio?
No, it's just all the same to me. I don't really.
Because you can curse on podcasts.
Yeah, but I'm so used to being on radio. I don't even curse that much now, so it don't even matter. Radio, of course, I like because there's a lot more listeners. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of rush on a podcast because you can say what you want and do what you want. I don't think you appreciate it as much. Where on radio, I appreciate it, like, because you gotta be professional. You know what I'm saying? You can't curse. You can't say what you want. There are laws and rules, so you treat it at a higher level. Where on podcasts, you're like, man, fuck this, and then, you know what I'm saying? You could talk and do all this crazy shit.
Yeah, that's what I love though. Like, ugh.
Freedom.
Yes, freedom. Because I was on FM and I just felt like, you just like in this box.
Stuck.
Somewhere. Yeah.
But that's the challenge. Is like, how do I make being stuck in this box fun and cool? Right. So that's the challenge. Is like, how do I make stuck in this box feel like a podcast at the same time without it being a podcast? And I think that's the challenges that we
have to have. Right. Okay. Is there one song that you absolutely cannot stand, and when you hear it, you're like, oh, you don't want to ever hear that song again? Is there? You have any particular song?
I'm trying to think. One song, I don't know. There's never no song. I'm like, I don't care about stuff too much to even feel like that. Like, just in general.
No.
Like, I don't got things I really hate or things I don't like.
Do you have a song that like the top 3 songs that is gonna get the party popping?
Right now, Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill. Oh yeah. Right now, like today, depending on the crowd, but the Lil Uzi Just Wanna Rock is like a big song. True. Then if you take it back, like you could play like Benjamins. Like,
about the Benjamins?
Oh yeah, like that always. Especially, it depends on the crowd, right? So if it's like an older crowd, you drop that, they go crazy.
They go crazy on it.
Party Up by DMX. That's like a all time. You know what I'm saying? Like you drop that. Depending on the crowd. Like of course kids don't care about it. R.I.P. DMX.
Have you ever got booed before? Like
nah.
Like boo. No. They never threw nothing at you?
Hell no.
He like hell no. I mean stuff happens. I don't know. Like with stuff that's going on right now. What do you think about the Glorilla situation and all that stuff? Do you feel like something needs to be done? Because it seems like it's only happening to the females more so. Mm-hmm. Even with what's the other girl name with the curly top?
Ice Spice.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of like targeting the females a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, they're on fire right now. So anytime a person or artist is hot, you're a target, right? Because everybody wants to post you. They want to talk about you. They hot, and that's just what it is. So the females are running it right now. So because you got
hold on, say that again.
Yes, the females are running it.
Yeah.
Because you got to think like all the big artists right now. A lot of them are females.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you're hot, you're a target. So it's just now knowing that you got to just move the right way, right? It's like, damn, I'm a target now, but this clearly was your dream. So now you hot. Yeah. So just move the right way as much as you can.
Do you think it's the security that could have helped a lot of things on, like to try to prevent some things from happening?
No, it doesn't. It's going to happen. I try to tell people that too. They tell, yo, why don't you be with security? I'm like,
you don't be with security.
For what? Like, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I just got to be on point. I got to move tactical. I got to move the right way, right? So it's like, of course, certain artists, they need that because Glorilla right now, she's so hot, she can't just walk in the club. But
for real,
it don't matter. Even with security, somebody's going to throw something at you or spit at you. If they
never
want,
had nobody throw that?
Nah.
Not even a drink?
Nah, I never.
Damn, you lucky.
Yeah, I'm definitely lucky. Knock on wood. Please, and if you're watching this, don't try to come to the club and throw something at me.
Have you, what's your favorite place to DJ at? Like, you have a specific club, you're like, yo, I'm about to.
There's a club in Elizabeth, in Jersey, called Lobby. I like Lobby. I like the setup, the way it's set up. Like, the stage is very high, and you can see the whole club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The lighting is right. The sound is right. Just the setup, the way the room is set up is very important, too, because you want to make sure, like, if you're performing, everything is right. And I just think for that club, the way it's set up, is like a perfect setup for DJ. And it's funny because when I see other DJs DJ there, they always want to post videos there. It just looks great. You know what I'm saying? It sounds great. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of my favorite ones I could think of off top.
That's not a commercial either for y'all.
Right. Shout out to Terry.
I gotta pay them. You know, pay that. Do you like doing the list? Do you miss the listening parties? You know, where the artists have the listening parties and stuff.
They still do them. I feel like
Not a lot.
not as much,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like they should do them more.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like we were saying with the internet, people just want to
Just
put the
wanna.
music out. You can listen to it on your own time. You ain't got. But the parties I think were cool. Is a way to connect with the artists, especially out of town artists that maybe don't live in New York, and now New York DJs or influencers could connect with them and build with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important too. But
True.
you're right. Like a lot of artists don't do it anymore.
Because they don't even know what their single is
Right,
nowadays.
right.
So they just all over the place. You know what I
But that's another thing with a listening party. You can kind of gauge what people are liking, right? So if
mean?
you're
Right.
like, yo, I got 5 songs, I'm gonna do a party and I'm gonna play it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to get feedback too. Like, yo, that third record you played is fire. So
Right.
I would use that to kind of help make a decision. But
But they don't have them no more.
you know, yeah,
So
I
it's
don't
kind of
know.
hard, you know. All right, let's get into some food questions really quick because I
Okay,
know I did see something about you like McDonald's fries and Wendy's frosty,
where'd you
right?
see that? I
Is
do.
that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
I think out of all like the fast food places, to me,
So
McDonald's has like the best fries, but only when they're like fresh,
when
hot.
they're fresh hot.
Right.
Okay. He said, "Where you see that at?"
I'm like, where I say that at?
You said it in the video. You know,
She did her
I
research.
did my research. You know, and you don't drink and you don't eat pork or beef, right?
Yeah, well, I did for a long time, but then
Now you
Sky,
did it.
she's vegan,
Okay.
so I mean, yo, I can't go vegan, but she was able to like influence me to cut out the pork and beef, which I think was
That's
great.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
still love
good.
chicken though.
You love chicken.
Yeah, I can't.
You a fish guy or no?
Shrimp. I could
Shrimp?
do shrimp, but not
Okay.
really. No fish.
What's your favorite place to eat at?
Favorite
Like if
place.
you be like, I want to go here right now.
I told you I
No,
don't have.
you don't
I'm
have
not
no
that type of.
favorite.
Nah.
Oh,
You have a favorite?
I do. Like in what is that place called? What is that? King of Prussia. They have this nice
Oh,
restaurant out
okay.
there. Yeah, forget the name of it.
What type of food is it?
It's seafood. They
Okay,
have
okay.
everything fresh. I love it.
So you like fish?
I like everything
You
except
eat,
for like pig feet and stuff.
right, right,
I
right.
don't eat nobody
Like
feet, eyes.
octopus and
No,
okay. You
no.
ain't doing the
I do
octopus.
eat chillings though. Don't judge me.
Listen,
You had chillings before?
I tasted it. Yeah.
You ain't like
Nah,
it.
it wasn't for me.
You like
Uh,
nah, we ain't doing that one. Is there anything that you would want to change in radio?
change
Mm-hmm.
in New York radio or just
Just
radio in
in
general?
general.
Because I just feel like we just need younger influence on the radio, right? Like a lot of the radio stations, even Philly and a lot of the stations,
Right,
we got the OGs that are holding it down and built the station, which is
right.
great. Like we needed that.
They say get it. They want y'all aside though. They tired of y'all.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like I just think because you're trying to build new listeners. It's a new generation of kids that are now buying cars or and they're quick to go to the streaming site, the Spotify's, and it's like, yo, if you want the young audience to listen to the radio, you gotta put people they can relate to on the radio.
True.
Right? People that know what they're listening to, playing what they want to play.
True.
I think that's the only thing. I think it just needs a younger influence
Mm-hmm.
on the radio. But Atlanta seems to be doing a good job with that. I feel like
Atlanta's doing good.
yeah, Atlanta got a good gauge on like making it feel young and sound young, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what helped Atlanta the past couple of years, like building their artists. Is that the people that the people that are not in charge, but the people that are the face of it
Right.
are in tune with what's going on.
True. What do you say when they say they want to get rid of people like the older ones that's been running it for a long time? Because even me, I've been on 16 years, and like,
Right.
I will get you out of here. I'm like, well, get me out of here then. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Move me.
they can't say yeah exactly like
Yeah.
you can't talk that talk unless you got someone that can replace me, right? So
Right.
there's not really many people out here that can replace someone like you or someone. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to find a replacement. Until then, I'm
Right.
here,
Ooh,
and that's what
I
it is.
love it. Tuck your ish. I love it. All right, Drewski, I really appreciate you having me here. You know, I'm in your spot and everything is super dope. And you got anything new coming up that you want to let everybody know about?
Well, we're working with
It feels weird that I'm saying that on your platform, but go ahead.
It's your platform. It's Airitoutradio. You know what I'm saying? We airing it out. But no, there's new music coming. Like I've been cooking up some records with artists, like on the producer end, on the Khaled end. We talked about Khaled earlier, but everyone now when the DJ puts out a record, they're like, oh, like Khaled does? So yes, like Khaled does. I put out a whole project like 2 years ago. Right. And I had everybody on it from A Boogie to Chef G, Sleepy Hollow, Coil Ray. And now we're back in the lab cooking that up. We got a new show coming to World Star Hip Hop called Culture Shock.
I seen that.
Yeah, it's a music video show. We got some dope special guests that came through. Okay. And then, you know, the radio stuff, of course, that's growing. And we got some cool things happening on Hot 97, Summer Jam around the corner.
Yeah, Summer Jam be crazy.
What else? We got a new...
How hard is it to get on Summer Jam? Can they
as an artist?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's hard. Like, you gotta...
Can they pay or no?
No. Nah. You can't.
All right, y'all heard it, y'all.
Yeah, definitely sorry, artists. There ain't no way. Like, you gotta be.
Can they pay? Well, never mind.
No, they can't.
They can't. Okay.
Can't pay for nothing.
Can't pay for nothing. Okay.
We got a new in Jersey, a new like photography and music video studio and a small pop up retail spot that I opened up for like entrepreneurs. If you sell merch, like say you sold your Airitoutradio merch, you could come through and take over the store for like the weekend and make it your own store for the weekend.
It's like a pop-up shop.
Pop-up shop.
Okay.
So I got that. It's a lot of stuff. Recording studio opening up in Jersey. But, all they got to do is...
What part of Jersey?
It's in Rahway.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of Rahway.
I did. That's where the prison is, right?
Yes. But it ain't
no.
It ain't no prison vibes. It's some fun stuff. So
I know that's the only thing there that I can remember. Like,
yeah. Everybody, Rahway? Yo,
yeah,
the prison.
Rahway is a prison.
Free Max B, because I think he's in Rahway prison.
Right. Okay. All right, well, y'all heard it first right here, Drewski, Airitoutradio, you know what I'm saying? If y'all get a chance, y'all can slide through, you know what I mean? Hopefully y'all get an interview. Y'all got to go check out the website.
Yes.
You got it on the website, right?
thenewmovement.com, spelled like that, thenewmvmt.com.
Bell. Okay, Airitoutradio, smack.
Can we get the fire, the fire thing? The fire?
Fire what?
Don't you say fire?
No.
I thought you had like a tag when you opened the show.
Oh, I just say Airitoutradio.
Okay.
Yeah.
We outside. Let's go.
Smack.